Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is Shout Out Saturday already. And do you believe this is the last Saturday of January? I don't know where this year's going. I just know I'm keeping busy and it's flying right on past me. If you've been to my channel before, thanks for stopping in again today to see what's going on. And if you're new, I'd appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Subscribers, you'll find out in a little bit why being a subscriber is so special when you visit my channel. So today I'm talking about, I promised you a project, and this is my first tag in the hashtag 52 tags handmade. And if you've not, I know I've linked it in my previous challenge videos, but there we go. Her name is Brooke, Textile Artist, and so it's hashtag 52H and her name made. And it's a lot of fun. Basically what we're going to be doing every week is we're going to be learning a little bit more hand stitching type techniques. This week was about couching. Now I had thought that couching meant that all of your stitches laid really super close together. These she had us couch the piece on, and we spaced them a little bit apart. Mine I think are less than 1/4 of an inch apart. So first thing I did, and the reason I am 4 weeks behind is because, you know, if you've been to my channel before, you know that I have to have everything in order before I can do a project. So I found this purple plastic sewing box. I know that's just a lovely shot, isn't it? All purple screen. But I will tell you that this box is about 12 inches long, about 8 inches wide, and about 3 inches deep. This was my mom's hand sewing box, and inside I have put the array of what I need for this challenge, at least that I know of for now. Number one, these are samples of fabric that I'm going to use. These are kind of the color tones that I want to work with. I want to work with soft colors, some vintage type colors on the white linen tags. Now we have to start with a tag. And these are cut from the second largest tag of Tim Holtz Doucet, which is not quite 2.5. I guess if you want to be picky, they're 2 3/8 by 4 inches. Now that tag is just a little bit longer, but I cut it down to accommodate what I thought I was going to use for my tag bases, which was this linen fabric. And then I decided the texture of this linen fabric just was not going to accommodate hand sewing. But that's the size that I needed to fit. That's the size tag I needed to fix these that I already had cut. So, I have since switched to a linen fabric. And if you'll remember from my January junk journal, I had pulled out a piece of tablecloth that was alternating panels of white linen and lace squares. And so I've cut the linen squares out and turned these into my tag bases. And what we do is we do the technique stitch for that week on the fabric, and then we tack it onto the tag. Now she has suggested dating our tags and then writing either a quote or something about that week that you want to remember, and make this like a memory keeping tag. And then I've gone through and I'm putting silver eyelets in mine. And for this one with the couching, when I cut my linen fabric apart from the lace panels, this was the strip where the panel and the lace came together, and they were stitched together in a zigzag stitch. So as I cut those panels apart, I kept these, and that is what I used for this strip here that I couched on. This is a piece of my pink fabric. And then from one of my boxes of bridal invitations from Hobby Lobby, I have these lengths of lace that were made to go around the invitation. And they are 12 inches long. And so what I've done is I've cut them down into sections. If I can keep a hold of one. Because I want to include a little piece of this of some size or type on every tag. And so I've just kind of folded this one here, kind of cross-tagged it, and tacked it onto the pink with a button. And so that's how I did this week's tag. Now next week's tag, well, week number 2's tag, which, you know, I've still got to do. And I was going to do today, but I'd rather spend my time with Bob today. I've got time to catch up. I lost my fabric pieces that I'm going to use. Oh, for week 2, we are to have some type of a pieced background, and then we are to whip stitch a heart on the top of it. So I'm going to use this for my background, and then I'm going to use a piece of this, nope, not that one. This for my background, and this for my heart, and my heart will go on top of that pieced background. And I'm going to use a country style heart from Sizzix, from my Sizzix dies. So that's going to be that. Now in this box, I have my eyelets. I have this thread, which is a French 100% cotton thread, and this is what I'm using to do all my stitching on the tags. I've got the 52 tags cut. I have the 52 bases. Some of those lace strips pre-cut. I also, when I needed to cover up a boo-boo on this tag because my punch slipped and put a hole where I didn't want one, I pulled this out of my scrap rack. This was from an old tank top of mine, probably 30 plus years ago. And I cut one of the flowers out and put on there, so I'll use these periodically throughout the tag. Those strip pieces that I pulled out. I have one more button pulled, and I will probably pull out more. As we might need colors, I have these extra, I have every color of DMC embossing thread, but these were ones that I have that are extra that have never been put on bobbins. So I decided to just tuck those in here. And let's see, I have my date stamp. And I'm not sure where this one was from. Might have been a Dear Lizzie. I also have my eyelet setter. Now I'm going to start using this as my eyelet setter. I'm going to punch the hole and then use this to set the eyelet with my hammer after the debacle with that eyelet a while ago and having to totally redo my tag. My pen for writing on the back. Night of Navy ink pad for stamping my date, and then I've got this little piece of cork on top as a pin cushion. And because I found I needed one already, I have my needle seam ripper, and I don't know if this was in camera. Let's put it back in there. That's my ink and my Dear Lizzie stamp. There we go. Then I have this Altoids tin, which has my needle threaders and some fine needles in it. And then I also have other needles, because depending on the technique will depend on what type of needle I need to use. I have my little vintage snips that are extremely sharp. And this was the thread. This is Coates & Clark that I was going to use, size 8 that I was going to use. Mercerized sewing thread, but I've decided I want to use this instead. I'll keep this handy in case I need something a little finer. And then I have pulled a variety of fabrics in the color tones that I want to play with, so that they're already in the box should I need them. I do know that I'm going to need a variety of fabrics for week 3. I know that one is, I already know what that one is. I haven't watched week 4 or 5 yet. Oh, and then a pair of cheaters to keep in my box so I always know where my cheaters are at. So that is the beginnings of my 52 tags handmade. And now it's time for Shout Out Saturday. I've added some names. I've got a couple more to add from the last week. Thank you to all my new subscribers. That needs to go away. Are we ready? I'll look across the room while I finger these out. There's number 1. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't put it back in the box because I wasn't looking. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you are a subscriber to my channel, I add your name to my little box of drawings. And every Saturday, I pull out 5 names and I link to your channel and send my subscribers over to check out your channel. This week we have Tonya Simpson Miller, JKH 1978, Heather Doucet, Robin Jamriska, and Canuckgal. Now, if you'll notice, some of these have asterisks next to their name and some of them don't. The reason they have a asterisk next to their name, it means that they have content on their channel. If there are no asterisks, at least go check them out and follow them and see who they are following, because they have videos and people that they follow and playlists that you might want to be interested in. So we have Heather Doucet, Canuckgal, Robin Jamriska, Tonya Simpson Miller, and JKH 1978. I will link their channels down below, as well as Ann's channel and the challenge for the 52 tags handmade. I hope you'll come join us. They don't take a lot of time to do. Nice TV watching project. So there's plenty of time to catch up and come play with us. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. I will see you back here tomorrow. Creative blessings.